Oh, you got the locks going.
See it.
So look, I got the recording going. So we in rotation. So yo, how's everybody, man? How you doing,
Man,
Eturnal?
bro, right? Recharged, energized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stop. That's right.
Real talk. How, how you second at?
I am great, honestly. Stepping into some new endeavors, new energy. So
Yeah.
great.
How you, bro?
I'm alright, man. Making it through the storm. That's all I can say right now. Making it
Man,
through the
it's your
storm.
future right now. Scorpio building.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's where
Prepping
the
for
bully and the
Scorpio
wimp
season,
meet
man.
each other. That's where the bully and the wimp meets each other. Yeah.
No cap. I wanna let's speak on like with everything, cause you already know we already been talking about this for years, and people wasn't catching on to what's going on right now, what's going on around the world, and that these times was coming. Like for instance, like like Yusuf, you know what I'm saying? I was breaking him down. I was telling him like, yo, something crazy is about to happen, bro. Like you know he's Palestinian, so like I've been telling like bro, I was like bro, we got to prep for something because something bigger is about to happen that we not aware of, and we need to prep with our family. We need to prep with our finances and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like how we can all just come together and not be separated. You know what I'm saying? Because through times like this, we will put a guard up and just be separated because they going through something right now. You know what I'm saying? And just forgetting the all purpose of like this is the time for unity, not for separation. You know what I'm saying? So what's y'all take of like what's going on around the world and what is coming? What is coming?
I let segment go, then I'll say something.
Okay, well, um, what's to come? What's to come? Definitely transformation. Got a lot of energy to be cleared out from uh, poor mishappenings in the past, and I definitely see a more of a war energy getting ready to happen
Yes, yes.
of a World War III. That's against the government, and we're seeing it all over the world. It's going to be happening here.
Right.
So we must prep our people spiritually, emotionally, and physically for them to remember who they are and remember that we work with the forces of nature
Yeah.
to be able to tap in during these times and execute what we pretty much have prepped for this whole time. Um, it's all
Yeah.
about knowing that we are connected to the lands,
Exactly.
and as long as we know we're connected to the lands, we use that as our advantage. And I'm just hearing right now, something about during this war, eating the apple. We all know what that apple was, but tapping that way so we can immediately tap in
Yeah.
and be able to use our powers. But that's my take. What do you think, Eternal?
That was a
Definitely
good
in the
one.
connect. Yeah, no, you dropped some jewels on that one. It also helps like when we speak like that, it helps us get to the next platform. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us don't see the difference between flat and plats. How you plant your own platform. So
Yeah.
like having a journey right now, writing it down. Because the remembrance gonna remember. The amnesia one is gonna have more amnesia at this time season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's
Yeah.
more like looking for your defined foods that like papaya and guava and find those other outside, because we might not look at, we might just look at it from an inside point of view. Yet it's the outside and the inside happening right now. So
Real talk. Like real talk.
yeah, like today the weather was like bananas, and it was like, yo, I could take it though, because it was like it ain't bad. It's just like I'm letting you know what's getting ready to happen. So it's like
Yeah.
be on some preparation.
Yeah, for
So,
all.
Yeah, because and that's ironic. I had a hawk pop up over my head, a spotted hawk, and it was like that confirmational connection. Like today, I had a mantis sitting at the doorway, right there at the door. He won't let nobody in. My brother, like, he had to ring the doorbell, and he was like, "Yo, look," and I was like, "Yo, that's what's up." Take the camera out and start, doing my photogenic energy. And of course, the praying mantis, it looked right at me. So the video I got was only 5 seconds, but out of that 5 seconds, you get 5 years of it. And I noticed that too, like how you said earlier with the apple, you gotta tap in, bro. This is our moment really to tap in the most.
Bro, and I've been tapping it. This is the most I've been tapped in, like really meditating and really getting to my spiritual self, bro. Like ever since that solar eclipse, bro, I couldn't sleep. I've been really like meditating and just staying to self, man. Like I really feel it. I feel it heavy. It's heavy this time.
You said to bond together. It's only gonna be the ones who want to bond together. Will this happen right now? We're looking at it, and because of the separational part, that plays a key to how you miss people and how you start to channel to those people. Your collective people gonna start hearing you. You know what I mean? Like I done experienced it already. What was it? 2 days ago, and I just from the beginning of the day experienced a feeling of one person. I just homed in on one being, right? And then by the time I got to the foundational store, I'm starting to do whatever I'm doing. That being came in the door. So I'm like, yo, this is some deep stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't tell the person this. I just had to do it to a point where, like for yourself, see what your powers are. Get the fire, get the candle, put it in front of you.
That's what I've been.
This is the stronger time frame to do it in because of the another water. You know what I'm saying? We're on the middle water.
Yeah,
so,
build your altars, y'all. Build your altars. Get your water. Do your libations. Yeah.
So you got a good step right now into how you gonna concentrate. You know what I'm saying? Like I was building a lot of ammunition for my people. Like for real. I'm just putting the armor back together with the crystals and putting the copper on it and still rebuilding that while someone else was sending me old stuff to me that was something I still needed though. You know what I'm saying? Like this is that time where you can use your past and still have a build up for your present. You know what I mean? Because you're like the best gift ever. So now, if those people are really on that avenue to say, hey, I'm going to support you, whatever. And then you be like, yeah. But then they kind of walk away and you don't know if they're really supporting you.
Yeah.
If they are the people that really are supporting you, they're going to show it when they come back. And he be like, oh, I'm glad I gave you that. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I ain't even think you want to come back. You know, so that's not what you want to say.
Yeah.
But if you keep the motivation inside self. Now, of course, we throw things out and we don't get it back. That's not what I found out in this day and age. That's staying on the physical plane. We have a spiritual plane where we don't look for it and it returns full and more, plus more. You know what I'm saying? So if you know any people that, are on your channel, you know what I'm saying? I had someone say that they're going to open a club up and they want me to come in there. And I was like, dang. And I was like, I ain't even talked to this person at all. And it's just that they know the spirit and what we need to have on a charisma Buddha level. You know what I mean? So that if there's a platform, they want you to get up there, they're going to do their best to do their part. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, this is perfect because it's not money involvement. It's just like I know it is still, in the end of the day, is going to be money involved.
Yeah.
However, it's not going to be because the money is involved. That's the first thing we thought of. You know what I mean? Instead, it was more like, let's get ourselves right, and all that comes. That we need to discuss it. That's how much you know that this is like a big major thing happening right now. It's where yin and yang meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely meeting, man.
Yeah. Like we got children in the background. That's where yin and yang meet. This is where we find the older and the younger. Is it the older? Is it the elder with the youngers? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real talk. Like, can we say I can get along with these children? We be like, shut up, shut up, shut up. And
Real
then the
talk.
child looking at like, what's wrong with this food? You know, and are we the one that lose patience with our young generation? You know what I'm saying? And or is the young generation losing gaining frustration because they can't have any loss of patience. They're gaining patience. So if anything, they get frustrated by the elders. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be that term right now where the shut off. This is where the volume and the volume changes. This is where we're going to find out there's a water faucet continually flow, or going to be some restricted times where you're going to get a little drip, drip. You know what I'm saying? You get a little drip. You ain't get anything like you used to. That overflow water. This is a triangle water. This the where the water be like, oh, you like that? Okay, I'm going down this little pipe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're getting a big old well of water. You're getting a little pipe of water. You're like, God dang, what the? So, just like the 2 days I went into discipline and just was like smoothie myself most of the day. I ain't really eat too much.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, my mouth was saying you can't eat too much anyway. So I was like, dang, my mouth even restricted me. So you'll find out your body's talking to you.
Yeah.
And if you're in tune with how to in tune yourself with the body, the outside world. Because before it was a Thursday, I got on Instagram. I ain't think I was gonna cry, bro. I just ended up crying. I was like, I was frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my younger generation don't want to talk. My older generation don't want to talk. And then my younger generation saying y'all talk too much. I'm like, wait a minute, we ain't talking enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to go to action, you're going to destroy some stuff. You don't even know what to destroy yet. You're like, yeah, let's destroy that. And then be your house. And then be like, oh, man, who burnt my house?
Right.
Somebody said, let's destroy it. I think it was because they said it was evil. I'm like, nah. You doing destroying my house like that, bro? You messed me up. So it's like, how do we find out the host, the ghost, the host, and the most of our energy? You know what I'm saying? The ghost, the host, and the most of our energy. That's deep, bro.
That's deep.
I'm gonna say it one more time. The ghost, the host, and the most of our energy.
Yeah.
Like if you could find out the ghost of its essence, that's essential. But if you got a host that's always parasiting your energy, sucking you dry and leaving you out to dry, like how I just looked up there on was it Instagram? They were showing how some electrons suck your energy while some electrons give you energy. So being able to know how to balance that positive and negative, you know what I mean? Like there's a joint with Ben Yusuf, with Black Magic 363. He was talking about your left-handed energy and your right-handed energy. Some of us gonna use the death and his grievance and all those type of things to get what we want in this world, while the right-handed gonna be like, yo, I gotta do this on some morals, some philosophy with the morals combined, so that we will get our rights and pass it on to the children aspect. Because there's gonna be these two parallel worlds in this dimension, while we having this third dimension of, am I neutral, or should I just add in a part? Yet to add in the part, would it be too extreme? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it still be like, am I neutral?
Right. Wow.
That's when you find out with Israel and Iran. You know what I'm saying? You getting now hearing the rapist, but you hearing the rapist through the news again. So it's not like, is it the complete truth, or are they just scaring you into emotional anger or emotional movement without having the intelligence backing you up?
Yeah. I had seen that it was a protest today in downtown Norfolk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty big protest down there. So
And
um
that's gonna be deep because why didn't they do it in Virginia Beach? Why didn't they do it in Chesapeake? Why didn't they do it in Portsmouth? Why didn't they do it in Suffolk?
yeah.
You know now that you're hearing the concepts of this is the north of the folk people, and yet we're speaking of someone further away than even Norfolk itself. So that's like, I want you to keep your eyes on the blurry side versus how clear you can see it right now in the here and the now. As my sister said, she more want to be in the present. Because if you too far in the future, you are already over there.
Mm.
If you in the past, you can't even, you know what I mean? You got an anchor and an anchor of anchor stuff. Because you might be pulling some stuff you regret from that past, bringing it into the present. So it's more like, how do you have both sides to where you're not destroying either side? Because you're going to have the benefit from the past and the benefit to put into the future, yet not make it future already. Because if you say, well, we definitely going to be doing this 2029, you know what I'm saying? And then 2029 come up and you're not doing it, you be like, man, you said in 2029, this supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to end up putting yourself way past the marker, and you don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
So the whole, the libation or living in your levitational moment can be how you stay pivotal. You know what I mean? Like audible. You see it always in basketball. You always see it in football. You know what I'm saying? You might have had the coach say, this is what you're going to do when you go out there, and it's like he trying to control you. And you're like, hey, you ain't controlling me out there. As soon as I get out there, the brother going to go to the right that you just said go to the right to. I'm going to go to the left. If I see his foot so much as turned to the right, I'm going left. I know what the coach said. And pass the ball when I asked for it. And he'd be like, wait a minute, who changing this up? The script is how you scribe. So whether it be on your TV, whether it be on your, on your phone, any of these things, my brother said today, be serious, Dr. Be serious. He was like, you scrolling, right? I said, dang, he dropped the jewel. I said, you weren't scrolling. You scrolling the phone, you scrolling Instagram, you doing Facebook, you doing all this spell work. Is it benefiting you, though? You got to get this to benefit you. You know what I'm saying? If not, there's no Ben. Ben represents Neb backwards, first of all. Benefit. Ben, who I, if I can't fit into it, it's not fitting me. There is no benefit unless there's the I, not the I, me, the I as in self. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got to have some kind of self-reflection. We got to have our, what we call involvement in it. Otherwise, we'll feel depleted.
Right.
So we going in that downtown in Norfolk, when it's really an uptown energy, but we feeling down about Israel, Azrael, Israel. ISIS is our I, is Ra being the energy manifested. Is it strong or is it coming out? You know what I'm saying? And when it do, is it weak? From the Ray, we say R-E and versus R-A-Y, but they use R-A-Y as Ray, R-E. So Israel, L is now masculine, right? L is whenever the letter L is used, right? Let's just look at it like this. I said it right? A lot now. It's opposite of left. Mm-hmm. So when we say this, it's just like the Asian saying R is the same thing as L. So if I say Israel, is Lael, is Lear, is Lair, our words have been interchanged that we're saying it backwards to a lot of the things that we might not even realize. So in this black and white or opposites of continents, we could start saying something that's giving it legitimacy, yet we ain't even get our laws yet of ourselves. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're passing out, you know what I mean, more energy than we can give out. Yeah. When how we ain't rechannel this energy first. You could be depleted. It's like having a cup of water and you threw it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? When you want the whole tub of water, you know what I'm saying? You're like, I ain't putting this little bit of water on this floor. I got to put out a whole fire. And you want me to put this little cup of water on the house. It's not going to work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I need a fire truck. Where the fire truck at? Somebody bring me this fire truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So imagination, cultivation, your culture. How is it that we don't put too much attention to like a basketball? I mean, the ball being shot in the basket hoop, and we got all that energy for the. Oh, he missed it, gosh almighty! Now you on that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you could have been like, man, he gonna make this shot. He gonna make bam. Now you're like, oh, everybody feeling good because they got the energy of that. I know that there's one going to be pessimistic, and I know there's going to be one that's going to be optimistic. It's still our choices. What I'm seeing right now, we got choices and options, and you're still going to have these things no matter what at the end of the day. So if you want to concentrate on that, go ahead. If not, go ahead and get that book out, like I was saying earlier. Write the journey down on what you want to see accomplish and happen. Right now, a sister was on the joint to Dr. B. Sears, and she was like, I just don't like it when people, you know what I mean, be attacking me and hurting me, and I be giving them all a good type of energy, and I'm like, I see where she messed up at. And then, of course, he went in on her, and I was like, I'm glad he didn't go hard on her. It's just that sometimes we even got to pause ourselves in the present, right?
Yeah.
And say some optimistic stuff for ourselves, some avenues of change for yourself in the present. Because if you haven't done that yet, you are re-emulating the past, and now the past becomes your present, and now the present don't even have a good future because you already put the past in.
And that's exactly what's going on right now.
That's right. There you go.
And it's crazy. I think Dr. Malachi York or I think Bobby Hemmett, I forgot which one, he said it was like, how can is it Israel? Which place is called the Holy Land?
Oh, Iran.
Huh?
Iran.
And he was putting it like, how can one place be the Holy Land if the creator of God, he creates all land, there's no such thing of a holy land.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
You know that land. Yes.
Yeah.
Say it again, sis.
It's the Holy Land, as in the whole, as in WHOLE.
You're gonna get your head out of the hole, you can see the whole thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, seriously. It's like how one would say peace, but they don't see all the pieces. I give you peace, but is it connected to all the pieces that you say peace is connected to?
It's more so, knowing your circle to know your square. Knowing the...
Yeah, and that makes that is your spells. That is the shapes that we can reform, reshape, alchemize. That's the grade between the black and the white, and still knowing how to utilize it, not by extremes, because every dog has its day just like every cat does. Yet the expression to the cat and the dog is made up. You got a fox and a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you think of the cat, 9 lives, no, we talking about infinite. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might have limited the idea so that when we saw it, we said, oh, that's limited. Okay, y'all, nothing to see here. How long you going to keep doing that?
Right.
You might have to go into seeing it better by tasting it, touching it, feeling it, hearing it. You know what I'm saying? Use your other senses. We've been applied by mother's breast milk. So because of that, Taurus moon cycle is in the Scorpio's season right now. So for us to learn these things is how loyal are we to the ancestors? Are we going to hug a tree and get a recharge from it? Are we going to hug a cat or a dog that, if that's the case, how we get recharges from these things? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to feed the animals? Because when we should know it right now, if we say the season coming into a winter, right? And it came from autumn where we supposed to be harvesting. Are we harvesting enough for the animals? Because you know these animals take shots for you, right? You know that, right?
What you mean? What you mean?
They get hit by a car for you. They get killed that day for you. We always talking about sacrificing, right?
Yeah.
But how did sacrifice come before honor? Honor was there first. It had to be. You can't tell me a person wanted to actually not honor you if they killed themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because of religion, the word religion can be itemized to manipulation and charm and separate the two between masculine and feminine. I would say, oh, that dog sacrificed his life for you.
Mm.
Yeah, that dog honored you so much that's why the dog died.
So
Took on your equipment. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So all right. So since we talking about dog, let's get into the dog star.
Come on, serious.
Let's get into the dog star.
Are you
What
serious?
what what's your take right now? Because I feel like that's amplifying more on Earth and getting closer to. Because I want to know is dog star Sirius, is that Nibiru, or is that separate from each other? Is that another another planet?
Okay, so to give that an answer would be like saying, is um is Asar, right? Is Asar Osiris?
Mm.
You hear the
Okay.
word Sirius in there, right?
Yeah.
And you hear the word Sar, like Sar being like sorcery or like the source. You know what I'm saying? So Asa, Asia, the word Asia, Minor Asia, Major Asia. Um, this is the like the flower. Whenever you see the petals and the flower, they can collapse and they can come back out. So it's a period that someone saw this as Planet X, and then there was a period when someone saw this as Nibiru, and there's a period when someone saw this as Marduk. You know what I'm saying? And so there was always giving it a name as what they call it, Clash of the Titans.
Mm.
And so the Titans is really the Tartarians. We haven't seen our giant people because we've been looking for it on TV or on the radio of hearing it or seeing it in the gospel or the book, Genesis, yet to ignore it like Maui, knowing that the land was hit with fire, but yet each part of those fires was the head, the heart, and then the hips. When we're not knowing the outside scale, we're looking in and not knowing it.
Mm.
Like I'm an ant compared to this world.
Yeah.
And I would think a lot of what we're doing is really ant to then being amplified energy. So as far as the answer, Series A, Series B, and Series C.
There's a Series C.
Yeah, that's where you're seeing the other galaxy coming in as guardian of the galaxy. That's what a lot of us now are starting to see of ourselves. Uh, being able to stay from night and day and still have your eyes open without having amnesia from yesterday.
Mm.
Seeing how the moon and the sun pop up, and yet you know where they're at.
Right.
Like, even if you lay down and got back up, you still know where. If you had no walls, no form of walls, no structure at all, you know what I'm saying? If you kept looking and you start to see that the wall itself is just only an obstacle, it's an illusion. We have to know that there's the sky is beyond the limit. So now our thoughts are also there too. So we're talking about the Milky Way. Right. Milky Way has many galaxies within it. And because we don't, channel on the galaxies, this is why it could be a frustration. This is why it could be like, well, I don't think that exists. Well, maybe because we haven't seen it far enough.
Yeah.
I've actually been one area is North Carolina, right? And then I went to another area, which was the other side in Suffolk, though. So I'm seeing two different layers of where I lay my head down, get my head up. Yeah, I seen where the sun go down and the sun rise up, or less I should say, we rise up to the sun. And I saw the same distance of where the sun came from, the same area the moon came at. So it was like they on the same parallel world. We might not be, you know what I mean? On how we're thinking, how we're moving, how our functions might get clubbed up in the club, so now we disoriented. You know how somebody put that little blind drink over your face and they turn you like 10 times and then they let you go?
Yeah.
That's basically the intoxication, what the intoxication does to us. That's why a lot of people end up wanting to Earl. it's messing with your spirit because you spiral it out. So it's like a Earl energy. You gotta now, you gotta sandwich it out.
Right.
So what is a witch? But just like Halloween, the fake of it to showing us a real to it, REEL. We're gonna do a Salem witch hunt. You notice they say Salem warlock hunt, right?
Yeah.
What's that about? That's just like saying that they cloned Tyrone, right?
Mm-hmm.
They cloned Tyrone, but they ain't cloned Tanisha. Okay, so that means we already know that there's an origination, and we're seeing it repeat itself. Yet it's not repeating. It's a trinity in it. It's always been a trinity. It's not a duality. Yet we use duality in religion. We use duality to walk. We use duality to use our left and our right hands to pick up things. Yet we use our left and our right eye that has this trinity. The extra part that we say, oh, I ain't even. Some people that ain't even going to use it because they feel like that's going to be complicated. Oh, this is where you stop eating as much meat so you won't calcify. And then imagine that calcium. We're adding more calcium in our body to now stiffen our bodies. No wonder people need to stretch more right now. You know how many times I stretched today?
How many times?
Ooh, man, at least about a good 5 times. I said, man, I don't know what's going on right now. I need to stretch. And it was my lower back. And it was my upper head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was in the spot that was in my neck. I was like, man, how am I get to that? I had to figure out how to massage myself because I don't have nobody right here to massage. And I'm not saying I'm looking for somebody to massage because we already know. Someone would be like, man, I don't like when people massage you because then they want to do some extra. Or you got to be in a special spot in order to get to this massaging moment. You know what I'm saying? You're like, man, I got to do all that. You get your fingers dig in your body. You know what I'm saying? That spot hurt. Go censor it out. You know what I'm saying? And I found like a lump. It was in the back of my neck. I was like, dang, this lump how long has this lump been sitting back here? And it don't matter how much you work out and how much you don't work out. What it does, though, get you a point of saying how much your body's been in movement. And because you might have had a crank or something. Like if you on a light rail, I would say at any point you get on that light rail, I would say, please don't forget to stretch while you're up there. You got all this metal and whatnot.
You know what I'm saying?
Turn your body, torque that body the other opposite
Go ahead,
way.
get it in.
Go on, turn the other way. I seen somebody do a whole full workout before he got off the drink. I said, dang, bro. I was like, you making me inspired. Let me go ahead and do some stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not going to say anything to you because they know that the metal is there, yet no one uses it for anything. But to like, oh my gosh, you know how many times we say, oh God and Jesus, we call on the high spirit, but we ain't using the high spirit within ourselves the whole time. That's some old, like, sucker bus energy if I ain't never seen it.
Yeah.
Like, how you really got that face that you're talking about?
Right.
And I say, how's your back? Oh, the Lord bless me. I just went through surgery. Surgery? Yeah, bless you because you made through it. You know what I'm saying? Not because you went in there and laid down on the table. If anything, it was like I've been told you. You still ain't listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like grabbing like there's a rail above your head that most of us put our hands on in case we fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grab that rail and just pick your feet off the ground. Yeah, that jank's sturdy enough to hold you. It's like sturdy enough to hold probably a 400-pounder. I ain't gonna say like 400 pounders because then it probably rip out of off the train. But however, you ain't but so much weight. So just grab that giant and just let your body extend. I know so many times now, I was like, dang, no matter how many times I don't roll this light rail, sometimes I get stuck in myself so much, I forget before I get off the train. Sometimes I have to, like before I get off, I'm like, oh, let me do this right quick. Grab this light rail thing and let my body extend for a second and just let the air out. Then once you say like that, the body just be like, ting, ting, ting. I'm like, gosh, oh my, man, I could imagine how so many people ain't doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something that you're not thinking of. It's something that's going to be in your face that you just ain't thinking of it. And because we don't rely on the Most High like we say we do, inside ourselves, I'm talking about, not the outside, that we don't use these things. We wait for another outlet. Well, what am I supposed to do, God? What am I supposed to do, Big Nature? You know, Mother Nature? What am I supposed to do? You got to learn how to nurture yourself. So, like yesterday, I was just stretching. I ain't even do too much. I ain't even gonna lie. I got a plate still right here from when I ate off of. Still sitting here, like, on the floor. Like, dang, I done ate, put the plate down. I ain't even go clean it up. But now, talking to me yesterday, I was cleaning my butt off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then talking to me my other day off, I was like cleaning the bathroom as much as I could and going to the other bathroom and cleaning as much. Because where do we put all our energy at?
In the bathroom.
Okay, come on. And it don't matter who go in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah, actually, it does matter.
Yeah, it do.
Like, ah, dang, this person went in and put all that energy in. Let me get my Palo Santo.
Man, yeah.
You be like, because your kitchen is your bathroom. Yeah, your kitchen is your bathroom. I had to learn that from my mom. My kitchen is the bathroom. And if my food ain't right, it's because my bathroom ain't right. And even for Malachi, he be in there and be like, man, you know, y'all gotta clean up in here. And I'm like, shoot, I'm listening, bro. I probably wasn't the first 3 months. First month I was in here getting it, listening. It's just so many things that hit me so fast. I was like, man, let me get my stuff because I see how people are right now. I gotta get mine. I gotta get mine. And then he's like, y'all in here just getting y'all's. And I said, dang, he right though. I can't even lie. I was like, well, shoot, you getting your... Oh, that ain't doing nothing but throwing a rock. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me start cleaning up. I don't care what time I get in here now. Not the part that I'm saying I'm arrogant, not wanting to get in the time to help nobody. It's just that when I get there is when I get there. Now that I'm there, though, I'm not going to be like, well, let me lay back and kick my feet up and let the day go by. You know what I'm saying? You got to actually be productive. You got to say, just like for today, for myself, I done made, 1, 2, 3, 4. Between today and yesterday, I'm on it now because I tell it to like Sister Q. I said if I can make 3 items a day, I'm all right. And I'm saying that not to say that like I gotta charge them $20 a piece to get $30 and $30 to be. Charge them a piece $30 and then out of the 3 that's $90. I don't have to put a price list on it. That's not for me right there. Not at the time. Now after I'm done, then I can start doing that kind of stuff. Yet that's like what I was saying earlier about the person saying, I got a club. Yeah, you got a club. I got skills. I'm not gonna go in your club and say, well, how much am I gonna get before I get in there? And it's like, man, I ain't bringing you in here. You can go get somebody else. Yeah. So it's like the willing of you gotta go, you gotta meet Most High halfway. You can't just be like, well, Most High, come on, get me so I can go. Like, what the? Most High probably leave you right there the whole time. He don't get to go nowhere. So it's just the idea that I knew he saw me, and the way I saw him, I'm on the street, I'm playing my recorder, I'm going towards the store. He ain't even know what you know what I mean? What my whole purpose was, but he saw me, he was like, yo, there he is. Like, that's like hearing the thunder and the lightning, you know what I'm saying? And now you see it. You heard it first, you're like, oh, shoot, what was that? But now you're looking for it. You're like, where that joint at? Yeah. And then you finally see, oh, shoot. And you want to take your phone out, like, let me record it. You know what I'm saying? So you just bringing the idea of law of magnetism to you. And the more you put that in, the more it's going to actually, flare itself out. And I noticed it because there's different stones and crystals that I work with. So knowing which ones I'm touching and which one I'm feeling and how that one actually has a difference does have influence on you. And you'd be like, man, I feel influenced to, let me go work out right quick. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, before the end of the day, I'm like, man, I worked out. I'm surprised I did that. And then I'll be like, you know what I mean? So
not doubt.
It's the levels of how you gonna open the doors for yourself. You just got to start opening them. You know what I mean? Don't leave the. Like, I know today might be a little windy or whatnot. You might want to open the window just a little bit so you get some of that. And you're like, oh, okay, all right, let me close that window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some of that nature in, man. You know, some of us get cooped up that we smell our own farts.
That's right.
The best smell ever.
That's why I keep my window cracked.
Yeah, open that window.
Gotta keep the window cracked.
Oh, you're used to it, ain't you? You're so used to it.
Real talk.
Anybody been in the room with you? That's why.
Let's get into the mothership, man. SekMa'atra, I want you to talk about the mothership, the symbols and everything we was talking about the other day.
Well, I mean, how do we want to approach this mothership?
Approach it as if somebody don't know what it is. Because to the audience that's listening,
it just depends on what we talking about. Honestly, speaking hush.
We ain't gotta talk about what we doing. I just want people to know what it is.
All right, so well, mothership. I feel like mothership can be multiple ways of thinking about it. It's all about how we utilize the functions of what we're creating or what has been created for us spiritually. It could be a physical ship. It could be a setup that allows us to tap into a certain code, a certain matrix. That matrix could be a lining of an energetic ship.
What's that? What's that sound in the background? Cause it's making like some noise. I couldn't hear you for real.
Water.
Well, so what I'm saying is that it could be a physical ship, a spiritual ship. But what I will say is being able to utilize the craft. Now, this craft could be a physical creation, a spiritual creation, and it's how you create with it.
Yeah.
To be able to build the actual structure to bring it down. A systematic way, systematic structure. Because when we're talking about the mothership, we're talking about something that's coming down from heaven and earth. We gotta know the keys to actually activate the mothership, and where this mothership is coming from. Not trying to say too much.
I think you said it though, for real. Because I like the way you saying it. Just to add on, you know what I'm saying? It's like how you mound building, and as she said, not to go too far with it. That's the mound builder of Ptah. Ptah is the mound builder, and if you know Ptah, that's how it became a path. That's how even Ogun, who basically he ended up not knowing. This is like what we were speaking on in the beginning, between the wimp and the bully. We can't be a bully all our lives, and we can't be a wimp all our lives. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now is how you really building. You know what I'm saying? Like how you really going into the social world and create social building. Like the mothership is going to show you a divine level to that. And if you about rape, that's your gift, then that's your gift.
Yeah.
Be proud of it. Be proud of you a rapist. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it like on no funny thing. I'm saying like don't give it no slack of how you can find out the better of it when you realize a rapist isn't always the best word to utilize. That's probably your beginning state. That's not you a rapist all your life. You know what I mean? So like if you had this ability and it was because someone gave it to you as a disability, this now has to be a better ability for you. Like the word mound like pyramid. Some of us think the pyramid is first, when that's not the case. The mounds were first, and we had to figure these things out on a chronological order.
That's the flat top ones.
Well, no, it's like Mount Trashmore.
Yeah, oh, like the rough draft.
Yeah, like you actually know what it looks like. You just didn't accept it.
A hill.
Yeah.
And you healed just like Jack and Jill. They went up the what? Went up the hill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it them healing did they go up there for? And when we don't notice that, that's like the separation of, well, what did they eat when they got up there? Right? Mm-hmm. But were they exhausted when they got? They got plenty of energy. What happened?
Yeah.
We get a cartoon and we get a movie. We get the cut part versions of it. We don't get the whole. You know what I mean? The blueprint. And the mothership, she would be known as the one who got the blueprint.
Mm.
Yes. You going in the blue room, like in your room right now. You got the blue room up in there. And look, both of ours on the similar colors on right now. So we in the yellowish white room. So we like, shoot, we need to be in that blue room. But at the same time, this is how we all connecting right now.
Real talk. Yeah. So I wanted to get on the scarce shape that we were speaking on, like the origin of that, like how it came about. Like I want to dive deep on that because as of this year, I'm just now finding about that shape. How you say it? It's called a
Merkaba structure.
Yeah, as of this year, I just found out what it is. So both of y'all dive deep on that.
So, all right, so I kind of felt like the Merkaba is still that of a mothership blueprint code, because it's all connected to the mind, body, and spirit. For me, being able to hold the blueprint, to be able to create this pyramid, and we're not thinking a triangle, but yeah, as above, so below, as within, so without. So that structure, just being brought down, what you call it, like a Mer pyramid, having to do with the Trinity, which is the key, but this is just on top of the lands of what we see. But knowing especially it is also within, in order for you to connect as a being to a source, which is you, and then be able to ley line it. And that's going to spiritually happen pretty much when you're actually connecting with actual crafts above, because as you activate, they'll see that blue flame energy, because that's really the energy of what's calling it in, is that blue flame frequency, which is also the hottest part of the flame.
So the symbol itself is blue, like the light of it.
No, so in a sense, all right, so it's different keys. So, the mind, the body, and the spirit. Now, even though okay, so what I kind of just heard was like, how they go like black, blue, indigo, those things, right? So it's just different hues of it, but it's all one. So, like, when we say, like, Planet X, Nibiru, and, you know, a black planet, this could be ranging from black as in clear, because let's just say the quartz crystal is a mother crystal. And even though it's like a quartz or white, it's still also black because it holds all colors. One is just an inversion of it. So when you're looking in the inside, let's just say the blue planet, the Merkaba, is coming outside, which can be shined through an aura. So now, if you are a part of the blueprint and your aura is that of a blue flame, the ship is able to connect with you. And therefore, you're able to tap into certain keys that DNA code strand has for your own corona.
Like that.
Okay,
I
okay.
would like to add to that. It's like if you haven't seen Avengers, that'd be a great movie to start learning your Tesseract. The Tesseract would be like how she said earlier, the square. So as a square being what it is on fours, right? You can see the sides, and each side is equal to each side. You know what I mean? So that's basically a balance. You get to see a Merkaba beginning state. So from a platform state. That's why form and formula is like you're not going to it, you're going for it. So when you're going for it, it's 2 times the 2 equals a 4. Now, when it changes, is because when it changes from 5 to 6. 5 to 6 is basically saying a 5-pointed star. Now, you can have a 4-pointed star look like this, but when you make a 5-pointed star, it adds a 2-dimension and a 3-dimension in it. What I mean by that is you see the 2 at the top going like this, right? But then there's that 1 in the middle that makes it a 3. And you're like, wait a minute, well, what is this dimension? So you have a 1, 2, and a 3 dimension before you go back to the bottom, which is at a 2 dimension, which is the star, how you have a star shape. So when we see shapes popping out of shapes, we start to go further into it, like the hexagram. Most people might not be in tune with these things because it's a beginning state in chronological order. We got mixed up with 0 and 1. 0 and 1 will represent this origin, the 0. The 0 is an origin, but not from looking at it from this point of view can mess a person up, because I could turn it around, you see it concave, and now it's half of a 1. It's not even a whole 0. So you be like, wait a minute, this is 0. Well, because we saw it from this point of view, we said it's 0, but if I cut it in half, it looks like this would be half of that 0. This is what the moon cycle is about. So the moon cycle is different from the sun cycle, right? So you'll see half of the wall in a reflection happening. And so seeing this with this is the 1, right? This is like what separated. This is the creativity, but this is how it's been created out of. This is why we know ourselves as peace and wholeness. Go ahead, sis.
All right, so pretty much coming from that is like in the comparison of the Merkaba symbol and the Star of David, where the Star of David is a flat symbol, and we still get 6-pointed star from the Star of David. But when we actually making it into a where the Star of David will be a moon, a flat, and the sun will be something that you can actually feel is bright. Usually, it has a 3D form in a sense because it creates that Merkaba. So pretty much everybody has access to tap into this mothership. And when we're understanding New Earth versus Old Earth, we're literally talking about our bodies. So with that, you know how we're creating the heavens on earth is we're trying to see if we can actually tap into that mothership which is, we all come from the mother energy. So when we're able to, because like the Merkaba can be a layered analogy, and it's just all about how you look at it. So from an ecosystem to the nature of man to the world, teaches self-refinement. And then also it says, pretty much balancing our energy to raise our frequency, helps us tap into that blue flame energy. And blue flame energy is simply truth. And that truth holds a very high but low frequency. High to the point of blue is also purple. Blue in its highest form is indigo. And also blue as in the hottest part of the flame, but it's still blue. So that's why our chakras stem from the lowest chakra, which is the blue, where theirs is red. And
yeah, I said the depletion of the actual blue flame.
Right. So it's a lot of sacred geometry that has a lot to do with the key, the blueprint.
Cleopatra.
Right. And this ship, is supposed to take us to, Nibiru. So just for a second, I'm going to look up all right. So
okay, so that's what I wanted to get.
Okay.
No.
So we got Nibiru. Is planet X, right? When we're looking at X, we're looking at 10 completion. We're looking at the complete higher self into the next dimension. So with that, taking your Merkaba, using your blue flame energy to balance at the root and to the crown, from the blue to the indigo, we're able to create this, or actually tap into this new planet X within ourselves, which is going to be a new Earth. And a lot of people really don't know, but as we raise our frequency, the blueprint of us actually tapping into that frequency, we are now laying down new lines, new laws, which are the oldest laws, new as in NU. So it's always.
Hold on, you said what? As in what?
New as in NU. Or NU. INU or NU. See, it can be INU as in INDU, right? Planet X. And then NU or a new U. So it's still messing with the SekMa'atra energy.
But not unnew.
The end of times.
Not unnew though.
So.
Well, that depends. That's the ANU versus the ANEW.
Right.
We're connected by Neo, so the Neo represents, like how we say a Trinity. A Neo goes back into the one. What I was doing this right here, the tetrasphere.
Mm-hmm.
The tetragram or the tetrasphere is a 4 points. So you have to have primordial energy. Now, if you can learn through the Mayans let you know about this. And if you study the movie Blue Beetle, check that out. Moon Knight, that's another one to tap into. It's giving you the Trinity of Gemini, right?
You said it's a movie?
It's a series. Moon Knight is a series. It's actually from a comic book that.
Yeah, we talked about it. Okay, we talked about it.
Yeah. When we talk about stuff that's older than old, is actually new stuff. It's just new to people that ain't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So now it's old stuff to those that already seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But Khonsu is the real main character in the movie. Now, Khonsu represents this same. I don't know if you see it. Can you see it in here? Can you see what I'm showing you? Oh, let me get.
There's something in there. That's an insect.
Yeah, something. Yes, it's an insect. You see what insect it is?
Yeah, that big thing with with the claws looking
Yeah, they call it
teeth.
the longhorn beetle.
Yeah.
Now, what we find out in our totems, certain insects, like I said before, animals, they'll die for you, and you wouldn't know it. So this insect came into the store I was working at originally and passed away. And now, when I was cleaning up, I would have never found it had I cleaned up. And I said, oh, wow, it's a longhorn beetle. I said, wow, this is amazing. My son's a Cancer. And so my dad being a Capricorn, looking at the opposite of its seasons, Capricorn represents the Kansu energy. Cancer represents the Kansu energy. So I had to look at 4, fire, earth, air, rain, fear. And now a lot of us face fear, and it's through usually cancer issues like breast cancer, cancer in the lungs, cancer, like all kind of cancers. So not knowing what we were getting ready to face, the corona, this became a talk to the conversation of the world that we had, that we were going to talk about cancer a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was already brought to me about my grandmother, who basically is a Sagittarius, which we know as SekMa'atra. That's the fire, that's the ether energy. So when my grandma passed away, it still wasn't on me to wake up. It was when I turned 23 going into 28. The same way we go up the chakras. Your first, second, third chakra is at the bottom. Yet once you get to your heart, that's when you start really having this awakening. That's earth. EARTH is HEART. So your heart chakra, once that starts to open up, you start to do things on a selfless aspect versus selfish aspect. So when I got this beetle, I said, oh, somebody got to put this in something where I can keep this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to fall apart or nothing. So it's just like a casket. I wanted somebody to make an orgonite on it. And the sister who created this, she had me actually put some copper on her mother ashes. And I said, yo, I put copper on your mother's ashes. You got to do me a favor for a favor. So this is the Ampu conversation. This is where Anubis, if you know about Anubis, he's Ampu. So this is another way you learn about Wapanat.
Anubis.
And Wapanat is still in Mexico. Now, going to the movie I was talking about, Blue Beetle, watch the movie Blue Beetle, and it'll give you more of the analogy what I mean by this, because they give you Olmec in there, they give you the blue being the beetle, even for the Beatles coming out, the hippies, the long hair versions, they call it beatniks. When you go into Avengers, you're going to see all of this basically pan out because they've been explaining this conversation to us in a worldly conversation. So you're not going to catch it right offhand. You got to actually put your pieces together to figure it out. And it's going to be a story of you. You just might have to see it in a riddle. So now you got a individual riddle, you have a family riddle, and you got a worldly riddle. All these riddles going to ride you with the L. It's going to get rid of the L, or it's going to ride you with the L. So now when we look at riddles, riddles are a way to explain it on a metamorphic way by saying it in a morphic value. And this is where you get the AN, because whenever you say AMN, you're saying Amen, right?
Yeah.
But you're also connected to Amun. Amun is moon night. Amun represents the feminine attribute of self, learning as masculine form, if that's what it is on the outside and the physical. Yet in reverse, it's showing the feminine form, no, the masculine form of what is out here on the physical, yet is the feminine form that created it. So that's why we had the moon and the sun as an explanation to our birthday, but we don't use that. We say our birth. So when you think of birth, you think of the sun. You're thinking of like how they got the word Sunday. Yet it's also a Saturn day, correct?
Yeah.
So you actually having, these are the battles between Moon Day, Sunday, and Saturn Day. All these other days are created around that so that we wouldn't feel the degrees of the change of it. But we do feel it because it's always been a trinity on how to, it don't rain in 3 days, and if it does, something miracle happened, right? If it's rained 3 days in a row, you're like, man, this fourth day, I guess something got to change. And then all of a sudden we start to feel it, and then it's a worldly thing that's happening. So just like a movie, money, 3 days. If you had anything in the 3-day event energy, you start to feel the polarity change. And the real reason why is because it's 10 degrees to each day. And going opposite of 10 is really saying the number 4, which is Cancer. Cancer represents your skin, your feelings. So when you're in your dharma, which is your dream, you're laying down. But it's based on your fears. Not just fear, fire, earth, air, and rain, your fears. So I put an S on your word, fears. Now that means atmosphere. So this is the reason why this is put here, is because this was a reminder to self that this is the atom, and there's different atoms, which they call atomites in the book, in the Bible, which had different versions. Let's make he, she, them. Now, if we don't know what them or they are, that's when they approach you. They start to show you, oh, I ain't never seen this before. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is based on ignorance. So you have the eye of ignorance, right? You have the eye of ignorance and the eye of intelligence. So each eye gets you a level. Now, not saying that the eye became evil, yet we called it evil because it had an opposite way of looking at things. And so just like from this point, 4 point to a 5 point, it became like for the sheriff not the sheriff, the actual peace officer who's supposed to be a policy official. So now the name got changed to peace and office official, not being office anymore, but officer. So to change the feelings of it to where you feel panicky when a person got the lights on, showing you red, as we were saying, the colors, and blue. And now they take the red away, and now they give you blue, so you be like, oh, I feel calm. But the red was like, oh, I'm urgent. You know what I'm saying? The real reason why that's happening is just like, Peter Pan. Peter Pan represents the hot wave, like we're doing October right now. Yet it's 10. It's the 10th month. So to say like from an octopus to a squid, some of these things has been moved faster when we need to slow it down first. Like right here. This is on my neck. I don't know if you can see it. I got to get close enough, I got. I don't know if you can see it, but we'll do it this way. Not my hair. Right here. It's a Merkaba. I got an actual Merkaba on my neck. Now, I took this Merkaba. It's a blue Merkaba, so it's lapis lazuli. I took that in reference to have a protector around my neck. But before I had a protector on my neck, I already had a protector on my neck, and that's this silver. I put the silver around my neck. Now you know how to get rid of a werewolf. How you kill a werewolf?
Well, a werewolf.
Yeah, how you kill it?
What's to the heart? No.
That sounds like a vampire.
What's the? I don't know. How you kill a werewolf?
Silver.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you have silver to kill off your werewolf that's in yourself. That's the wary wolf. Now remember, an Ampu is a mixture. It's not just one dog that was created. It was a wolf or the coyote, right? And a mixture of the fox. That's why they look the same. They have a similarity of the look, the bushy tail and everything.
So why would you want to get rid of the werewolf inside of you?
Anubis is the Cholo ex-Quintley.
Go ahead. Go on, throw it out there. Go on, keep going, sister.
It's that mix of like a bald cat, jackal, werewolf type of dog, a hairless dog.
Okay. So now you know Wapanat. Wapanat would be the example of Mexico. If we go to Texas, Texas got a 5-point star. Why they got a 5-point? Why don't they have a 4-point star? Why don't they have a 6-point star? They have a 5-pointed star so they could get that conjuring energy. And then if I had someone come to your house and I wanted to say this is the laws, as if this is the rules, and call it law, I'm going to bring a sheriff, which is a 6-pointed star. If we talk about the 7-pointed star, we're talking about the Statue of Liberty, which is in charge of the currency flowing in our hands. but it's based on, like, if I have, let's say if I had some currency with me, right? The currency gonna be based on its shapes. The 5-pointed star is up there, the 6-pointed star is up there in the shape, and it's in a 4-pointed square, but not thinking about it, it's folded. So that's the reason why it looks like a book. And at the same time, you write what do you write in books? That's the same thing as a dollar. What do you write in this book? That's the same thing as dollars. What do you write in this? That's the same thing. What similarity word do they got on this that you can find out? Like if you
Nope.
needed messages, what you say?
Nope.
Notes. So they put notes like quotes in this book. So they made it tangible by how we utilize it. That's the only real reason why it's tangible right now to this day.
Mm.
Yeah, it's based on a 1 and a 3. Like what I mean by that is it's based on these ones right here. You got these ones up there. The ones and the 3. What I mean by that is one of them is a crest, while the other 3 are just circles or ovals. And we know basically our heads are not circular. It's ovular. So it's based on natural, why it has an unnatural. And then because it is like that, it's just like the Statue of Liberty having 7-point star. 7, 6 will be, I was saying about the stars that's up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's above the eagle head, and the eagle head got this, closer. This eagle head got a shape of the 6-pointed star. If you take your pen and put it on top of those 5-pointed stars up there, and just make a triangle, 2 triangles on top of each other, and then do the same thing as above, so below. It'll be up here on your 3-pointed pyramid. Notice the pyramid only has 2 points to the pyramid. The 3rd point is cut off. That's how you know this is Khufu's dollar. That's how you know this is an Egyptian dollar or it's a Mexican dollar. But we're not calling it that. We got different names for it. Pesos, dineros, you know what I'm saying? Fiat, booty, shillings. They gave it a different name. So to have everyone have the same conversation but a different story is how we're being played. This is monopoly. This is monopoly money. You know what I'm saying? The moment I pass this to you, is no valuable. They don't have no valuables to me. So that's how, if we knew how like the space of mass is really used, is E equals MC squared. Now what that mean is there's the energy in motion. Now the energy in motion has a mass, like 2 walls, 2 left and a right, a sun and a moon. They're using the sun energy on one side, right, with the pyramid and the sun right up in there behind the eye, which is on our emotion we connected by. As soon as you get it, you be like, oh, I got some money. Or if you ain't got it, you're like, oh, man, I need some money. So the other side is basically same thing as a moon, but it's not. They got the stars, but the star can be considered a moon. Now, here's my question to you. Is the moon a planet?
I think it's a satellite station.
Okay, well, let's say it for the people. Did they teach them that it's a planet?
Yeah. Well, no, I
Say it
don't.
again.
I don't think so. I don't think they taught us
They
that
didn't
it's a.
teach them that it was a planet. I remember they saying we had 9 planets. Then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, we got 8. Oh, now it's a little 7." I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I was growing up, they actually showed us Planet X. I actually did a project of Planet X before Planet X came out of orbit. That's why they said it didn't exist, because it came out of orbit. Needless to say, we come from the 10 worlds, which we call the Kananga, or the firmament. And most of us starting to now notice that the moon is a part of that firmament.
Mm-hmm.
The moon,
We diving. We diving.
the ice cap, or the ice cap showing it off the moon as a reflection. When you ever stick, let's say, like sunlight, you know how sunlight really works from a flashlight. Flashlight, you see sun rays shooting out of the flashlight. If you're in the dark, right, you can see the difference in the night and the dark. When you put a flashlight on something, you move around, it's like you can see it in a scope. So the same way, if we would think about the sun, because we were talking about this, me and SekMa'atra be going through it, how there's a black sun behind the sun, and we don't see it, right? But what is that they call a new moon? What is that? Can you see the new moon?
Nah.
So that's like a black sun, right?
So that's the black sun.
Yeah, because we don't give it a name. We say it's a new moon. It's like, since the name is already there, we ain't gonna go further into, oh yeah, we good. If somebody already gave it a name, we good. Yet we know that on the levels that when it parallels with each other, because man, that one new moon when Aries came in, I was like, let me watch this moon. I'm gonna see if when that sun come up, because you know how you be watching it during the daytime.
You can still see it a little bit.
Okay, come on. And so for me, I was like, I'm going to see where it's going to go. Is it going to just disappear out in thin air, or is it going to stay right there when the sun come up? And I'm watching it, and I did just a little bit of distraction, bro. I mean, I felt like I was making a cake, and I watched it go through I put the ice in, I made it all, I put all the ingredients, I put it all together, it was all separated, then I put it together, I finally see it in the oven, I'm finally seeing the cake up, and then all of a sudden somebody distracted me. And then as soon as I looked back, the moon was gone. I was like, dang it, that 4 minutes of me looking down, I didn't even see it. I was like, yo, I was going to keep my eyes focused on this moon to see where it's going to go, and now it's gone. It's freaking gone. So I'm like, I feel like you put a whole day into it to find out what's going to happen, and now you got to miss out because you was right there and you missed out.
So you still saw the moon even if it was a new moon, like.
No, it was a full moon. See, when you see the full moon, you get to see how the sun and the moon parallel. They gave each other energy. So now it's so much energy though that you can see it, just like water giving it reflection. You ever notice how mist is on the ground? Mm-hmm. You wonder how it got there? How does mist get all up here on the ground like this? Where does mist come from? You know what I'm saying? But that's from Geb, Nut, Chef Nut. Who am I missing? Geb, Nut, Tefnut, and Shu. So through the moisture and the dryness, we be usually missing. If I'm up on a mountain, how does the water come up on the mountain, then come back down and get onto the earth? And there's no wind really being in favor towards it. It's really the moisture. The moisture carries the wind. And the dryness basically stops it. So the moisture has to be basically balanced in order for an alchemy thing to happen. So the same with this moon being in a further, like if you can see it from an ant point of view, you can start seeing it from a longer, you know what I'm saying, projection. So the moon having reflection is only meaning that it has like water dust or water particles around it. Basically like it sucked up whatever it could on the earth to be seen.
Yeah.
Just like heat. Heat comes down on the earth. It don't rise up. Only time it rises up is to basically evaporate.
Right.
You notice that?
Right.
Yeah, so there's levels to the heat just like there's levels to the water. And so while we're looking at this moon being full, go ahead, sis.
Oh, I know I should have stopped you a long time ago. But
yeah, I saw your hand come up, then it disappeared on me.
was referencing the 3 days of rain. So because something about you was saying and a shift or whatever like that. But that's kind of like how the rituals are done here.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't gonna bring up the name, but you know, in the water.
Gotcha.
And, you know, how it always seems to rain during these 3 days. Or the first day happening in a 3-day event, harnessing energy.
Right.
But I just wanted to bring that up.
No, that's true. That's true. Because you'll notice that some of us are aware of it because we use a different call. We call it a calendar, but it's a call lender. A call ender. A call lender. So out of how some people will end the call, some of us will bring in the cow. And the cow or the moon has different moon cycles, month cycles. That if I did this the 3 day, right? And I said, okay, well, let me times this by 10. That's 30 days, right? So in 30 days, it's definitely something going to change. So like how we were speaking on let's say the 27th day, right? 27th, 28th, and 29th. 27th, 28th, and 29th. There's your 3-day processional change. Now, by the 29th day, it's completely a whole nother, basically, moon cycle. Yet, we'll say month cycle. That's how, like, a lot of us got tricked into running 12 months versus 13 moons. And how the 13, just like that dollar bill, has 3 ones that's different from that 1 that's the same to the religion.
Yeah.
There's a religion put on the dollar bill just as much as they put 3 different fires. There's a big fire, a little fire, and a smaller fire. Out of those fires, this is what we call the ethers, right? Your fire zones. You have fire in the head, fire in the heart, and fire in the hips. Now, this made to us or created through material, which we know it as the minerals that's on the earth. The only way it can maximize us is if we maximize it. So when we talk about note, right? Take away the E, you got knots. You are the person that has to control your own knots. Like how you get into a knot, you can also get yourself out of a knot. So right. It's not just the NOT, it's the KNOT energy. How do you use your knots? How do you use your nostrils? Your nostrils or your nostrils is your no thrills. How do you use one nostril from the other and not feel like the other one cheated on you or the other one gave you less air or less capacity to breathe with? You got to have balance, basically. So just like sinus is sin us. If I said my sin is us, it's not y'all, it's me. I'm creating the sin.
Break it back. Say it one more time.
When I say sinus is SINUS, but it's also SIGNUS. So I could be signing all into it, not know it. Yet it's the spells I'm putting out as I'm spilling it out my mouth. Fire is the eyes, earth is your nose, air is your ears, and your rain is the mouth. So how Uranus, when it comes around, is usually during the Mercury energy, just as much as through the Mars energy. These other planets that we're talking about are around the fiscal year in alignment with Jupiter and Saturn, which we call Saturn Day and Sun Day and Moon Day. And not knowing when it travels like it's doing, we get into a little intoxication. We kind of like inebriated, so we kind of like in a spin. So by the time everybody's like counting down on energy, that's a ritual. 3 days, they might have already had it. So we got New Year's Eve, New Year's, and then I'm quite sure some people gonna party either after that day or before even New Year's. So we might get a check, we might get that currency going. You're like, man, shoot, I'm gonna get some stuff before even New Year's. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my bottle, put it in the corner. But yet, the thing about that is, use some of that. Don't not utilize it. I get we use it, and it's us. It's the sin of us. So when we utilize it, take a little bit out of that bottle. Put a little bit towards the ancestors.
You feel
some
me?
Of those ancestors are drinking that.
Yeah.
And all of us are drinking it. So your intent now can be there. You know what I'm saying? Like for myself, when I get like a lot of cash in my hand, it's not a lot of cash. It's just that when I finally feel like I got enough, I'll say, okay, let me go get some bird seeds. I don't have no birds, bro. I don't own no birds. I used to at one point, but because I grabbed the bird seed and the squirrel seeds, I'm looking at now, how do I proceed further than where I'm at? And that's like where I'm at in this foundation. Just like I said, clean the toilet up because I use it. It's not because that's my toilet. Because I want to feel comfortable when I sit on that toilet, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the same with nature. I want to be comfortable in nature. I don't want to feel like I'm a freak of nature. So what you do is you grab your seeds, and you throw your seeds on the earth so that the earth now gets to recognize you.
Yeah, because now you giving. You giving.
Okay. Yeah, because you say Thanksgiving, but you're going to wait all the way to Thanksgiving to be thankful. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. That's like saying, oh, it's my birthday. What y'all going to do with my birthday? What the? You got one birthday. Everybody else had their birthdays already. And you want me to include your birthday, yet you didn't include them on yours. So this is where you might have to find out, don't just do something for you on your birthday. Do something for the people. Reverse it.
Yeah, you
got time to reverse these things. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be stuck in the realm of how you feel like, man, nobody showed up on my birthday. Don't make it a curse to yourself. Make it a course to add the original of yourself in the curse so you can see it's not a curse, it's a course. And some of us might not see it a course because we've been calling it a curse the whole time.
Good.
Don't stereotype yourself so much. Don't feel like it's gonna be bad. Something bad gonna happen. I feel like something bad gonna happen. Yeah, you're creating that field. That field is the cancer. The first part of what I was talking about, the tesseract. The first tesseract is with the 4-pointed square. Now, if you notice how cartoons were put out, cartoons had 4 fingers. They didn't have 5 fingers. And some might even have 3 fingers.
Yeah. SpongeBob had 3, I think.
Yeah, so they wanted you to get used to a not real, call it real, so that it could be real. That's how we got Israel, right? Israel is with the Isa, which is Isa, real. And now how real is up to self. We should know also Sheba, the land of Sheba, is where Iran, where they said from the Iraq to Iran. Iraq, like you rack it up, to Iran. I ran through it. This same connection is through Merkaba. And Merkaba would be the first symbolic actual, symbol to know about Cleopatra. Cleopatra is your language. I'm going to throw that out there one more time. I'm going to say it twice. Cleopatra is your language. One more time.
Okay.
Cleopatra is your language.
Why you say that?
Because that's your mama. Your mama had 7 versions of Cleopatra. They only showed you 1. And because of the 12 Julius Caesars, you can look that up too. Julius Caesar is not 1. There's 12 Julius Caesars. That's why each month, right, that we get confused by is based on their Caesars. You get a Caesar section, that's a cut. You get a Caesarean cut. A Caesar's haircut, that's your head. So we're going from your head, your heart, now I got to get into your hips. And the only way I can do that is basically by your math, right? So 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 times 3, there's your 12. So I got to make it a point of hitting all your meridian spots, all your sunrise, sun high noon, sunset energy. And if I can do that sunrise before you start getting caught into it, that's it. Before you got the high noon, that's Maesh. Before you lay down, that's SekMa'atra. If I can get into all your fires and poison them, that's like getting a poison apple versus having a natural apple. Now, if you keep eating the poison apple, after a while, you're going to feel, you know what I'm saying, poison.
Right.
So it's the whole idea of getting us to know either we're doing some stuff on the natural path and it's helping our neurons out, or you're doing it in the unnatural. Now, when I say neuro, N-E-R-O, right? And there's N-U-E-R-O. N-E-R-O is actually one of those Caesars. That's why I said Caesar. Don't just look at it for a flat platform basis. Look at why that we said fear and we was in tune with these fears. Not saying that we're at fear. We're in tune with them. We see them better than the average. Cleopatra is not Cleopatra. It's Clea. It's with a letter K. Clea. Leah. Aaliyah is the feminine point, not just Leo, masculine. Now, get around enough people, it's like to say Latino, right? Latina. The word was shortened by both and was called Latin. Then it was changed because that word was Atlantin. So now we hear the word Spanish when that's not in charge of Latin or Latino. They just put a Spain word like a dog. Yeah. A dog is a mixture of, like how we were speaking on a lot of combinations. So this is why we end up taking on the word, because the word was already tainted. Not saying that it's supposed to stay that way. We just took on the tainted word. And we can actually get that back. We can actually look further into our researching, which we call studying, and look at our other people who are our people, and how do they explain their way of learning their mother versus just the father aspect. You learn the father, hear the word? Farther. Father, farther. All I did was add an R in. So when we are knowing how farther it went, is because it wasn't that close enough. Your enemies aren't as far as you think it is. Your enemies are closer than you think. And because that is the purpose right there,
the inner
it goes
me.
right back to the ghost, the most, and the host. How is your fires working? How is your Baset? How is your Maesh? How is your SekMa'atra? How are these fires? Is it poisoning you, or is it rehabilitating you? You know you can get. I had a brother just on the what he did, the hibachi grill. He put a flame in a little cup, right? Mm-hmm. And he had a flame already going on right beside him. He stuck his hand into the flame and then took the oil, the gas that we know for oil, took it right out of the flame, and the flame was on his hands. Then he put his hand close to the gas that was in the combustion of like, again, a triangle, a mound, and when he put his hand in there, flame came out of it. And it was like what most people would call magic or magic. Yeah, this is the same as alchemy. You're solid, you solidify what you think, you liquidate it in your heart, and you gas it out. Now, if somebody's in charge of your gases, like we're in charge of these 3 seasons or 4 seasons changing, that one season can throw us off, and now we don't, we ain't never in season.
Yeah. And
that was the whole reason for the lie that we got. Delilah, right? They created a lie on Delilah. So to put a lie on Eve, we had to be, not knowing though. So B,
which is Lilith.
Is the state of, say it again.
Is Lilith?
Yes. Delilah is really Lilith, because the hair cutting is basically saying cutting off your chakras. And then here we are building our strength up, yet to knock the poles down, and then it's still involving the Palestinians that they're talking about right now to this day. How that work? And yet it was over Rome. Which side of Rome are we talking about? Because when you roam around, right? So is it the
from
Rome
east
or
to
the
west?
rumors? Right. Is it the Rome or the rumors of what we know of the Tartars? The Tartars and the Tartarians, we talking about from Moscow. As long as we do our research and study, we can figure this out. From Moscow, which we said USSR, that KGB style that they were talking about that was infiltrating. And, well, how do we get reverse engineer? How do we get all of that? Because someone reversed the technology. This was how the Renaissance Rosicrucians was the change. This is how we found out that they slowed it down and dumbed us down while it was getting slowed down, even though we were speeding up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the same thing as when we say we had the Mercury retrograde happening. in the midst of, while we having a retrograde, we're still doing the holidays. And you be like, man, how come it ain't happen the way I thought it was going to happen? Because you in the wrong spin again. You on the intoxicated, you've been inebriated. Now you got to get back on your feet. First thing that go on the ground is your feet. Last thing that come off the ground is what?
Your feet.
So you on a soul, yet you're not on the soul level yet. You got to take the shoes off. You got to take the socks off. You got to do it when it's 65 degrees and higher. You know what I mean? So then when it's less, then you're like, oh, shoot, I got to go someplace where it's still 65 degrees and higher.
Yeah.
After a while, you get caught on with the negative. It's just like static. You know what I'm saying? Static can be put on you. You ever took a shirt off, a sweater off at night?
And here's that Spencer Brown.
Yeah, hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah, do it again, this time with the intent of paying attention. Notice where the electricity coming from when you take it off. Notice that it might be like, you're like, what's that? Well, that's your electricity. You done gain enough electricity on your magnetic body, your mother body, right? Because the mother is the omega before alpha. There was no alpha then omega. It was mega before alpha. So once we know that, the magnetic body already had a pulse, a push to the pulse that is pulling you. So when you're taking off this sweater, right, and let's say you tossed it, as soon as you pull it and toss it, you're going to see some electricity in the air. It's just how you are going to see it. It's up to you. How you even can hear it is different. I noticed that when we rubbed our feet back in the day, we was able to touch the TV and we shocked our own self. We even had the metal sliding boards. You know they changed that, but they still got the plastic that still end up getting you some static on. You're like, dang, this is plastic though. No, it's the contact of the rubbing, the friction that can still create this electric shock. Yeah. It's still within both of us, all of us. And so that's why it's very important. Those who are not in copper, don't learn anything about copper. We in Virginia. Virginia is a bigger place than we think it is. I'm not going to go all into it because SekMa'atra know what we're talking about. This place is bigger than we basically calling it. So when we think about this land and the biggest mass of it, it has copper all written around it. Now, the thing is, we don't eat enough copper foods, or we don't wear enough copper items. So this is why the central nervous system is a part of why the copper is mainly needed. It helps with your magnesium, your zinc, your iron. Anytime you feel deficient, you know what I'm saying? ADHD, bone deficiency, hair loss, skin loss, radiation. This goes right back to the blue beetle. This whole idea that the beetle was pushing basically manure, cow manure, is going to the bull, going to the Scorpio. Scorpio is like another representation of the bull, of the opposite of the bull. Yet the beetle is a representation just like the Scorpio, being able to utilize more than just two body parts. You know, the Scorpio got like three. It's like three or more. So when it comes down to it, this is ironic. I saw a praying mantis take out a Scorpio. I was like, dang, a Scorpio got taken out by a praying mantis? Oh, it's on there popping. So learning the abilities of adaptation is major. That's why with beetle pushing the dung, puts his babies in dung. Why would you put your babies in doo-doo? Who put their babies in doo-doo? That's terrible, you know. Yet this is the nutrients that was in there. The sacred of the divinity cow that we call earthly cow can be also a heavenly cow. When you see the cow jump over the moon, you're actually seeing the constellation. I got this from Leela Africa, also from who is it? Dr. B. Series, he speak up on it too. How you got a dog pointing at the moon, but the dog is the pointing dog star. So that's Sirius that you're looking at. You're seeing Sirius A point to the Sirius B, which is the cow jumping over the moon. Now, why would I say that's Sirius B? Because that's the southern hemisphere. Now, what makes it significant about the cow is that the cow has horns on its head. Now, we know that some cows don't have horns on their head. However, what does it mean? I'm going to ask you that question. What does it mean that a cow has horns on their head as far as a spiritual inclination?
Connected to the sun.
Okay. What else?
Connected to Mars.
Okay. She done dropped it. So now we know that Aries is a part of this also with Taurus.
Oh, well, I
Go ahead.
Because the two signs that create Gemini is Aries and Taurus.
There we go. Now you get your Gemini effect. Now you get to see...
To the 2, to the 3.
Yeah, now you get to see the spoon split off and the fork becomes a fork. Now you see a knife, a fork, and a spoon. You got this trinity. You got one that was cut, the other one's concave, and the other one you can stick with, even though it's not concave. You know what I'm saying? And the concave you can't stick, but you can scoop. While the knife, it slices, but it can't pick up with a knife. So each 3 has a 3 principle, a split in the reality. Like what I said about Moon Knight. You have an older man, you have a younger man, and you have the baby in a state. This is why the 3 is shown. Now, 3 plus the 1 is basically the Masonic movement. Is how that was put in front of us. So the 31st or the 13th, like Friday the 13th. Good.
Because it still has to do with, boom, from the 31 to the 13. And when you asked about the horns, what that, it also goes back. So I said Mars, which is Aries, but Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is mother energy, which is love, frequency. So with that, coming straight to the body right here, this will make the cross. But that still will be the O. And that will still be equals 31 will still be 4, 13 still will be 4 as well. Pointing to the middle. Okay.
Which is your Coptic cross and your galactic cross combination. If you did a Coptic cross and a galactic cross combination, you got an 8. But if you only had one cross, that means this is the first section that's being done. You didn't get down to the second section where she was speaking on the heart. So the heart is Earth. So you got the sun. Most people look at. You ever thought about the moon being Mars?
You said the moon being what?
Mars.
Well, all right. So now the only reason why I would say that is because SekMa'atra has Mars above her head, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, my Mars is in Taurus or something like that. One of them. But anyways, she has that. Huh?
Nah, you go ahead, keep going.
Has that planet on top of her head. I'm just trying to look at my chart real quick. Okay, so my Mars is in Taurus in my 9th house, right? So SekMa'atra has the Mars above her head, but the connection is that when we're talking about in the Beru, planet X is right behind Mars, but you're gonna see it coming when you see Mars coming, because it's one and the same. So this is the connection, even though this is the connection from Aries to Taurus, but from Aries to Taurus to the Leo.
That's right. And now you get to see the alignment of how each role is played by each planet as they play the different roles in those names for the planet. Because, like, hell can be hot, couldn't it?
What?
Hell.
Hell?
The version concept of hell.
H-I-L and H-E-L-L. So we got hell, and then we got also, like, freezing hell.
And then there's hell, H-A-I-L-E.
It could be
so the cool version.
And it's hot as hell.
The hell, you say hell, Haile Selassie. That's like when you're saying, I'm giving, praises too. So we say hell one way, hell in another way, and then hell being an actual, dependency of how cold, freezing cold, or extremely hot.
But
now, because
middle part of actually hailing to it, though. Because it's...
Yeah. That's it.
No, will be in the middle, which will be the
Which
back.
it gives it action. You're using nouns for a verb action. When the real word come from, Julius Caesar's wife is called Helen. You catch that?
Helen.
Yes, the Hellenistic period came from her. So when we're learning what versions, you said like what?
Hellraiser.
Yeah, Hellraiser, Hellboy. All of these are the aspects of showing how there's a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere, the red and the blue. And because we don't get the green in between, the green now is supposed to be hell.
So this is still the concept of from Lemuria to Atlantis.
There you go.
So from the light body to the heavy matter body, the prime.
That's it.
Now from the materia, making it also still being able to tap into that Merkaba, but if not, you could be living in a hell state of mind, as in not hell as in bad, but more so Capricorn as in earthly, fatherly realm time.
So she brought in the next Earth sign from Taurus to not be the next Earth, but it was Virgo in between, which is your virgin and virgins. This is why it's a variant on what we speak of, how we speak of it. The virgin, Virginia, the V and the A is a 6-pointed star. That's your as I got that from Seven Bomar, that's your Megan star. Your Omegan star is Megan star. So Maryland to Virginia, the M is a split. And now it has a VA on that split put together.
It'll be like the V, so, and then the A, like, let's say the Masons, right? They boom, boom with the I. The I, each point will be the point here, the point here, and then point. Well, this will still be the 6-pointed star, even though it's a compass.
Which gives you the G in the spot. So that G in the spot is your 7. A, B, C, D, E, F, and then there's G. So that's 7.
Right. Which will be the I, which will be the spirit. It could also be the 7, also connected to the 5.
Right. That's how you get 12. Your Allah is your arm, leg, head. The Allah. That's your 5.
Elohim.
Yes, that's it. Because in order for you to see it, you got to come in a Buddha state. You got to basically, body represents Buddha, right? And body also is, they call it Bodhi. Bodhi would be the greediest of the Buddha. The big, that fat one. So he'll think of greed instead of being awake. Now, greed can awaken you. However, that'll keep you at one state. So that's why status. What's your status? Most people want to go by this first. You know what I'm saying? They want to look at your shoes and look at your pants that you're wearing and the glass. You got some shades on. You got a wristwatch on you. Your hair is all set up. You got a car. You in the material, which will be the first earth sign. That's why the southern side, if you ever look at the propaganda in reverse, in the 1900s, they gave us the Jim Crow. And the Jim Crow opposite is Zip Coon. Zip Coon will be up top, up north.
Body. That's still from the body to the body, meaning like how they say how is your mental. So from one body, we could just be talking about your body, but then it could be the body that's the mind, body, and spirit that we know that it's connection, but it's also knowing the depths of what body are we actually talking about.
Yeah, the mental with the material.
Or the Zip Coon, that's the same thing as the laws, Jim Crow laws, knowing the mind, body, and spirit, or do you just know the body as a play or an act or...
And when you do that as a play or act, this how the Zip Coon and the Jim Crow are the artists. That's how the artist became the Renaissance or the Rosicrucians or the restart of history played in front of us by act. AKT is ACT, but it's also about the cat in the hat. So the ringleader, one who brought in the ring, is basically Saturn ring. One who bring in the skulls is basically those that we know it as is a leg buck or a shoe. And so this would be like those people that you look on the street and you be like, oh man, I don't want him to touch me, or he looks nasty. Look, he eat out the trash can. This is the Grover that they put in Sesame Street. This is the Grumpy, the Grouch reality based on someone else's personality feelings. So when we look at evil is the opposite of live. You might not want to live like that person, yet that person is there for you not to live like that person. And that person is there for you to adjust to how not to live, so you can be at the same time honoring those that you don't live like.
Kind of like one man's trash is another man's treasure.
There you go.
I like that. That. So we gonna end it right there, y'all guys. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. This was a good dive. We gotta do this some more, and I feel like the next time we get on, we're gonna do it on the live, on Instagram Live.
Man, you can do it however you want to do it, man. Look, this present gotta be present, bro.
Real talk. Real
like,
talk.
Look, next time we like, wait a minute, it's this time. Let's get in this time.
Yeah.
We'll always have it next time.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, it was a good dive in. This gonna be on Spotify, YouTube, and everything. I'm gonna put it up tonight. So I'm gonna send everybody the link. Y'all tune in. I appreciate y'all, man. This is the Third Eye 5 podcast. Peace, brother. I hit you, man.
Peace.